Are you challenging this person again?
Well, no, so that they did is like now they gave us, and there was two other people that this happened to.
Okay.
They gave them, they gave us all, they're called up matches, which is where you get to challenge someone.
Yeah.
So I can't challenge him because he's ahead of me on the ladder, so he's going to challenge someone before I get to challenge him.
Yeah. Oh, we're live. How do I always miss the 3, 2, 1?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm like looking at you and everything.
Well,
All right.
I'll do it next time.
Hello, and welcome to Baby That's Cont.
A conversational podcast about all of our favorite content. I'm
I'm Kip.
Joseph. You go.
You're... I'm Kip, your newest Disney gay.
Wow.
Just
I'm
kidding.
Joseph. I'm Joseph, and I'm 6% body fat.
Wow.
That's a lie.
600.
More like 60.
Yeah. Do you actually know what percent body fat you are?
No, I have my scale, but I haven't. Let's say I haven't unpacked it yet.
Got it. I want to go get a DEXA scan to see my progress since 2019.
That could be interesting.
I'm probably fatter.
Well, there's only one way to know. So until then, you could be skinnier.
Well, I had my physical Monday morning, and it was with like a new doctor, and but the same like medical group, and One Medical, the now evil Amazon subsidiary. Anyways, the doctor is like, it actually was a good one because I've like not been drinking. I've been doing all the workout stuff, and I'm seemingly in better health than I've been the last couple of years. And he weighs me, and he goes, "Nice, you're really on your weight loss journey." Because
Wow.
I was down like 7 pounds from 2 years ago, but like I don't know if I would describe myself as on a weight loss journey, but
Well,
others would.
turns out. I mean, 7 pounds is pretty good. Like, I feel like I've gone up 7 pounds in 2 years. So,
Well, I must have been at my absolute fattest, whenever that was, based on the number he said.
oh, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I'll take your word.
I'll I'll circle back with you
Okay.
privately.
I realize we always say that. Like, we'll say, like, I'm going to tell you off pod, and then I absolutely never do.
I realized that too. But that's okay. We do when it's urgent.
Yeah, sure. But it never is.
Not never, but not often. I'll agree with you there.
Yeah, sure. I forgot to say Happy New Year to those who celebrate. It's Chinese New Year today, or
Oh,
Lunar New Year, but I'm
yeah.
Chinese, so I celebrate the Chinese version.
Amazing. Happy Lunar New Year to all those who celebrate. I thought you were referring to
Thank
regular New
you.
Year, so I made a face because it is January
Yeah,
29th.
it's a very culturally insensitive of you.
Well, I used to work for a Chinese owned company, and so at that time I was very versed in the culture, but those days are past me. Although yesterday was the first day of it, correct?
I thought it was today. I don't know.
Well, I was at Disneyland and Disney California Adventure yesterday, and it was very much decorated for the Lunar New Year.
Oh, well, they do that like for weeks at a time.
Yes, I would
So,
agree.
well, okay, so it
And
turns out you started celebrating yesterday. That's
yes,
true.
well, I love to celebrate
This,
it. Me and
that's
my sister love Snoopy. We would celebrate anything.
you. Any reason to take PTO?
You cannot stop me from taking PTO. Someone who worked for me today was like, I'm so jealous of all your PTO. I'm like, oh.
Don't they have PTO?
Yeah. And I always say yes.
So you have to lead by example. That's what I always say. I lead by example by taking a lot of PTO, starting late, leaving early. But I get all my work done and I'm an excellent worker. So that's also how I lead by example.
Yes, I work for a company that is results based and we do not care as long as you're delivering. So I agree. I do set a good example in that way.
Oh, that's true.
um, okay, well, may I ask a question?
Sure.
It's called Chinese New Year. Is it only China that celebrates?
So I think other countries and cultures celebrate and they call it Lunar New Year to be like, I don't know, location agnostic.
Okay.
But I always call it Chinese New Year because that's what we called it. I don't know.
Well, Chinese New Year in particular used to be impactful because all the factories like shut down for this period of time, and that used to cause me problems.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. My coworker said that basically like everything shuts down for like a week or two or something.
Yeah, a lot of the factory workers come from like more remote areas to work at the factories, and it's this period of time where they all get to go home and see their family. So that's really lovely.
That's so nice for them.
It's probably nicer if you don't have to leave in the first place, but given the
Yes.
circumstances.
Okay, but what I found out is that during this time, because like everybody is off, everybody travels and it's like an actual nightmare situation.
I think that's
Like the
correct.
airports and everything is insane, and like restaurants and public places are just like crazy town.
Yeah, it makes sense. Um, well, I ask because, at California Adventure, it's called San Francisco Square,
Yeah.
obviously based off of Tokyo and San Francisco. So it just would be really funny if they were decorating for Lunar New Year and it was only for China, but then it's Japan themed.
I see. Well, it's from that movie. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I know nothing. Has that not been made clear to
So
you?
that is very true. It's from the movie Big Hero 6. So
Big
there's a
Hero
fictional
6.
location called San Francisco, which is like an amalgamation of San Francisco and Tokyo.
Yes, well, I picked up on that, funny enough, but I didn't know about the
Well,
movie.
okay. I couldn't be sure.
You could because I said the Tokyo part.
Well, I wasn't sure.
So, what is this movie about? Have you seen it?
I have seen it. It's cute. It's I don't I really don't know how to describe it. It's like it's about a robot. Like this kid's older brother builds a robot, but then he dies, and then the robot's like his link to his brother, and it's emotional, and it's also like a superhero movie, kind of.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know. It's a kids movie, obviously.
got it. When did this come out? Would you estimate?
Ooh, 2010, give or take 5 years.
Got it. Okay. Well, I would say my L of the week is that California Adventure is boring and there's nothing to do there.
Oh, well, it has the best rides.
Sort of. I probably just missed them all.
Well, like the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout is my one of my favorite rides.
See, okay, so my mom didn't want to do that one, and I've ridden it many times as Tower of Terror. Is the ride itself any different or just the theming?
It's a little different. Like they changed the drop patterns
Okay.
and they play like fun songs. And so like the Tower of Terror, the vibe is like it's supposed to be scary and creepy, which like once you go one time, then that's kind of ruined.
Yeah.
But this one, the theme is like comedy and joy and laughing. So it's still really fun every time you go on.
Oh, well then that's too bad that I missed it.
Yeah, that's your bad.
But I was at peace with it.
Also, there's a lot of alcohol in that park, although I know your parents don't drink.
We don't, and I also don't drink at the moment.
Wow. That's amazing.
I'm still going, and can you believe this? We decided we're going to extend through the weekend into February.
Wow. I cannot believe that, personally.
I'm just like enjoying my weight loss journey.
Well, I mean, yeah, keep it going if that's all it takes.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see because obviously we'll be free to do whatever we want, but I don't know. It is going well, and I don't know. It's just funny. It's like yesterday, like we were at Disneyland. It was a long day. We like left at 5:30 and then like went to get dinner, but we were there at park opening. It's like, at
Yeah.
dinner, it would have been really nice to have a glass of wine. But at the same time, it's good that like, I don't just get home and then just like drink, drink, drink. So it's been positive overall, even though I do look forward to having a glass of wine at some point.
Yeah. Oh my God, but if you never drink again, then you already had your last glass.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I'm just putting it out there.
Well, you got drunk last weekend.
Not okay, I had 2 glasses of wine.
Which is a lot for you.
It is a lot, and I regretted it.
Did you?
Yeah, it's just I didn't sleep well and I was tired and grumpy. So,
I
yeah,
will
I
say
hated it.
I felt hungover today, even though I had absolutely nothing. And I was also really grumpy this morning. I think it was really more about the return to capitalism from my
Yeah, it really
one day off.
sucks waking up after a day off and then you have to do the work today.
Yeah. But I'm taking off next Friday, and then I have President's Day off.
Okay, that's a crazy PTO.
Well, I got extra when my grandma died.
Oh my God, do I have President's Day off? I hope so.
I hope so too.
Well, I'll be taking it,
Take it.
irregardless.
Take it, mama. What was your L of the week?
My L of the week. Okay, so I texted you last night
Yeah.
during the L. So
You did,
on
but you didn't say what it
Tuesdays,
was.
yeah, on Tuesdays I go to play tennis, right, at the club. And um I show up and it's like the tennis ladder where they match you with people to play with or whatever. So I get assigned my court. Actually, I get to pick who I challenge because I won last week, so I get to pick.
Yeah,
I have the
after
pawn.
you beat that powerless old lady.
Absolutely destroyed my opponent, who nobody knows who it is.
But you described her in detail.
Well, yes, but people forget.
Or they didn't listen in the first place.
Yes, exactly. That's more likely. Anyway, so I got to pick my challenger. I just picked like the next person up because I was like, I don't know who anybody is, so I don't want to just get destroyed.
I
But
would
anyway,
have
so
picked
then we
someone with
like,
a name that sounded sexy.
oh, I don't think we have that here. I mean, because you can see who everybody is, so there wasn't
Oh,
really
I see.
a lot to choose from.
Hmm.
Uh, So, okay, but the worst part of the story is like it doesn't start till 7 p.m., which, as you know, is already in my like leave me alone, I'm gonna go to bed soon time frame.
Yeah.
Um, so I have to get there at like 6:30, and I start to warm up, whatever, and then I go there at 7, and I get my partner, and we walk up to the courts, and we're like, why aren't the lights on? Normally the lights are already on. So then we walk up to the light switch and we like flip it on, flip it off, flip it on. They're not turning on. So we're like standing there. It's literally like 40 degrees. It's freezing cold. And we're waiting. We call and they're like, hey, we're sending someone to check. And like they send someone to check. And so we're waiting. And like 25 minutes goes by. And they're like, we're not going to get them back on. So you can just go home.
That sucks.
So like what the hell? And like I was wearing like 4 layers of clothes. Like I was
Yeah.
literally wearing like compression shorts, and then I was wearing shorts, which also had a liner in them, and then sweats, and then an undershirt, a shirt, and a jacket. And I'm like wearing all this clothes. I don't know, it just made me more miserable. And then I had to come home and like take off every piece of clothes and then get in the shower because I was mildly sweaty from warming up. It was just like so much effort to go through without having actually gotten to do anything fun.
Yeah. Also, your outfit sounds ridiculous.
Well, I was wearing layers because normally you get hot and then you can take like a layer off. But you
Sure.
can't just start like freezing cold in 40-degree weather.
Sure.
So I was so prepared, and then the club let me down.
Are you challenging this person again?
Well, no, so that they did is like now they gave us, and there was two other people that this happened to.
Okay.
They gave them, they gave us all, they're called up matches, which is where you get to challenge someone.
Yeah.
So I can't challenge him because he's ahead of me on the ladder, so he's going to challenge someone before I get to challenge him.
Yeah. So he only gets to do that because of the light situation?
Well, yeah, normally, like, so if we would have played, only one of us would get an up match to challenge.
Yeah.
But because we both got it and he is higher than me on the ladder, he's going to pick someone to play next week, and then I'm going to pick someone to play next week. But since he's higher, he gets to pick first.
I see. Now that you met him in person, do you think you would have won?
I think yes. But then my previous opponent told me that he was very good and he has the biggest serve out of everybody in the club. And I was like, so I was going to lose. And she was like, I didn't say that. I was like, but you played me, so you know both of us who was going to win. And she's like, I can't say.
People love to
So
just
I
not
really don't
commit.
know.
I'm like, why did you say anything if you didn't mean it?
Well, she was just trying to start drama.
Well, hilarious. Okay. Do you have a W of the week?
My W is that I'm on day 9 of working out every day.
What counts as a workout for you?
20 plus minutes of zone 2 cardio and or tennis or weightlifting.
Do you ever get a rest day?
I take it when I really want it, I guess.
Got it.
Because the 20 minutes of zone 2 cardio isn't that intensive. So like the day that I'd had the 2 glasses of wine and I woke up and I felt like shit, it was like I can still do that.
Yeah.
And it actually helps like flush everything out of your system. So I felt better after.
What is the top of your zone 2 heartbeat range?
I think it's like 150.
Oh, got it.
But I
What's
try
your
to keep
max
around
heart rate?
145. My max heart rate, I don't know. I haven't checked recently.
Hmm. Well, I'm curious what's like the highest you get. Let me know.
I have, yeah, I'm sure I can check. It's written down somewhere, but I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. I was on the Berries Boot Camp Reddit and somebody posted and they were like, I'm really depressed. And so I bought a 30-day membership. I'm going to go every day for 30 days. And everyone was like, you are going to die.
That's so crazy. I wouldn't do
I,
that with no rest days.
yeah, I understand the motivation behind like, okay, 30 days I'm going to do every day. But yeah, maybe they're like 18 and they can just like, their body can handle it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they designed the workouts, but I would think they're designed to come back at least like 5 days a week.
Each day has a split, but some of them are easier to do back to back than others. But Friday's total body, Saturday is total body upper focus, and then Sunday's total body again. So those 3 days in a row are really hard to do. Um, but like Monday through Thursday is pretty easy because it's like arms and abs, lower body focus, chest and back, and then abs and like ass, like glute focus. So those four I think you could do in a row. But then
That
like
makes sense.
getting into the total body stuff after that is just like it can be really hard, especially like sometimes they'll just really kill like your triceps or something, like an area that just like doesn't recover. And if the next guy, especially if you're not seeing the same person, just like programs triceps into it, you can like be like, yeah.
Oh, I see. Because CrossFit's very intense, and that's like 5 or 6 days a week. But they program it specifically like so that you can do that. Well, the good places do.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem, isn't it?
But I'd
Anyways,
expect berries would, so
well, it's programmed in that way, but each instructor gets to come up with their own workout. And so, yeah, you just don't
yeah,
know.
don't like that part.
Yeah. But I wish that person well. I hope that they get out of their depression. I hope they lose a lot of weight, gain a lot of muscle, and that they don't hurt themselves.
I'll be rooting for them.
Yeah, but I, of course, would be shocked if they were successful.
Well, maybe we'll find out.
I feel like Reddit is the last real place on the internet.
Elaborate.
When I'm actually looking to learn something or really find some like real life experience from people, I feel like Reddit is a place where I can actually find what I'm looking for. Whereas like Twitter, as an example, used to be that, but definitely is not anymore. Or like Tumblr used to be a place for that. It's definitely not anymore.
Yeah. I like Reddit. It's the only place that I feel like you can escape the toxicity.
Yeah. So you
So
agree?
that's what I use the most. Yeah. I think I'm really pretty.
Yeah. No, I find it so useful. There's other things too, like Flyer Talk is a good one for travel stuff, and but even some of my favorite travel blogs, like the comment sections, have become so crazy. And it's not even political. It's just like you can just see the way that our society has made people crazy and then just evolves. Like
Yeah.
there's this one guy who's so obsessed with like Delta Airlines, and every airline related discussion somehow he turns it into a conversation about Delta Airlines, even if they're not related to it at all. And then there's this whole subset of people who hate this man so much that then turn every topic into, oh, well, this guy's going to say X. And then it just turns into this fight in this way that, like, I don't know, it all feels very much like a symptom of the greater problem, but it's infected a lot of good spaces.
Yeah, that's crazy. What I like about Reddit is that you have to like, what is it called? Like join groups, subreddits, and you don't just get like blasted with stuff in your face of stuff that you didn't want to know about.
Yeah.
So like if I want to like be online and see news about stuff I'm interested in, I can go on Reddit and I'm not going to get like any politics, any craziness, whatever. It's like just the things that I want. And then I can like protect my sanity while still getting informed on the things that I care about. And then if I do want to see that stuff, I can go to like the all page or whatever, or the popular page, and then you can get other things.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And even too, like I just find how even if you go on, like, I was trying to find a new Indian place last weekend, and even if you go on Uber Eats or Google or Yelp, like so much of that is biased by ads now, that like,
Yeah.
and fake reviews and stuff like that. But I went on Reddit and there was a lot of suggestions for places I hadn't heard of and hadn't necessarily seen through the Uber Eats lens. And we tried a new place and it was really great and higher quality and has knocked my old favorite Indian place out of first place.
Amazing.
It's called Curry Kingdom.
Sounds very high quality.
Well, guess what? It actually was. And Brendan and I both agreed.
Slay.
Um,
Did you know that Reddit was created by Serena Williams' husband?
I do. You know that I hung out with him one time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that's a fun story. I could tell most of it on the pod. Well, maybe not. Anyways, I met him. We were in the same box at the Hollywood Bowl, and he gave me a ride to Dave Chappelle's after party.
Oh,
which was
yeah, we can't
problematic.
put that in.
Well, why not? And I never met him again, and I followed him on Instagram. He did not follow me back, but we did have a fun conversation, and he was a very nice guy, and I wish him well.
That's
and I
fun.
hope he
Yeah,
wishes me well.
Him. Who?
Correct. He would. I'm guaranteed he would not remember me, but that's okay.
Yeah. The Don Draper meme. I don't even think about you.
Well, 100%. It would be actually be bad if he did think about me, but it makes
Yeah,
sense,
like
of course,
what did
that
you
I
do?
think about him. Well, mostly I was asking him about Serena because I don't really, well, at the time I wasn't even really using Reddit, and
Yeah.
anyways, but he's an interesting guy. He like invests in a ton of different companies and things, and he seems like a really good guy, especially out of like the tech segment, which has turned out to be so bad.
Yeah, it turns out.
Even Tim Apple, man.
Yeah, sad. Where have all the good guys gone?
Just you and me, baby.
Well, most days.
Well, my W is that I ended up having a really nice time at Disneyland with my parents.
Wait, so your L was Disneyland, but your W was also Disneyland?
My L was California Adventure being boring.
Okay. I just hate San Francisco and Tokyo.
Well, actually, I like San Francisco. I like Tokyo too. Most of the stuff was closed. We went to California Adventure first, and most of the stuff was closed. We did get on Radiator Springs, which is excellent ride. We had a fun one. Yeah, we had to pay the $20 a person, and it broke down while we had already checked in for our $20 ride. But like, anyways, that was just really annoying. A lot of shit was broken down. I don't like Soarin' Over the World. Soarin' Over California was much better. And
I think they're both boring. Equally boring. Also, the screen is so old and outdated. Like, the quality is bad.
So the quality is bad.
Surely we could film a new movie and it wouldn't cost that much to get a new projector in there.
I agree. Call up Mr.
What do I know?
Have you ridden Tiana's Bayou Adventure?
I have not.
Okay.
But I have ridden Redacted, the previous ride.
Well, your problematic fave, me, is here to say, bring it back.
I think I watched a video and it didn't look that great.
Yeah, okay. So they kept the ride itself the exact same.
Sure.
It's just they rethemed the whole thing, which makes sense. The old movie it's based on was their most racist movie ever. The new animatronics are really great. And Tiana looks beautiful. And I'm very happy that there is great Black representation in the park now. Ultimately, the reason why I had more fun on the previous ride is because there was a lot more sing-alongs and a lot more animatronics. So the ride itself is actually boring outside of like the 3 drops. Otherwise, you're just like
Yeah.
floating along in the log. And on the old one, there was lots of songs and lots more things to look at, I felt like. And in this one, it's just kind of less to look at and less to engage with. So
I see.
I didn't enjoy it as much as I hoped to.
Okay. Well, that's racist, but I won't say.
Well, you know what's crazy? Not to get political. They obviously made the decision to redo it like several years ago. I bet you if they knew that Trump was going to win, they just wouldn't have done it.
I mean, probably.
But anyways, I also felt like we went on Rise of the Resistance, and this time we waited in line. It was only like 40 minutes, and we didn't have to pay, so that was a win. I feel like it's gotten worse.
In what way?
Like our commander guy was really bad, and then it seemed like they added a new queue where like you get off the you get on the transport and they take you to the thing, and then you go through the Star Troopers. And in the past, they would just separate you into groups and you'd be taken in and kind of like perp walked. But now you move into another line and then you're given groups.
Oh.
And it felt like it was like, it must have required more staffing in the past or whatever, because it just felt like it took away some of the magic. And it was much more clear you were like in a ride at Disneyland, whereas when it first opened, you really felt like you were like in a Star Wars movie in a scary way.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they also wanted to tone some of that down, like given the political climate of deportations and raiding people.
Maybe. Well, anyways, overall, it was a nice day at Disneyland.
Well, that's good.
It was not crowded at
Um,
all, which was great.
well, you went yesterday, which is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Um, yeah.
So I realized I forgot to tell you my scam story last week.
Oh, yeah. Scam of the
Okay.
week, presented by Donald Trump.
Okay, actually, kind of fitting. So,
True.
as we all know, I moved recently to this wonderful new to me house. Well, not even.
You dumb bitch.
Anyways, trying to embellish for content, okay?
Of course.
So we moved here, and I now own an electric car. So I wanted to install an electric car charger. Very reasonable thing to do, right?
So true.
So I contacted like Hyundai, who's the maker of the car, and they have like a portal where you can like book an electrician to come and do it or whatever. So this is what I did at my last house. And I did it this time, and they assigned this electrician, and he was like the slowest, most annoying person to work with. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just call around and see if someone else can come do it quicker, and there'll be less of a hassle. So I called this company, and they're like, yeah, we can come out tomorrow and do like check it out, and we'll give you a quote. So I'm like, okay, amazing. So they come out and they do like look at the electric panel. It has to be upgraded from a 150 amp panel to a 200 amp panel, which is the same thing I had to do back in my previous house. So I'm thinking like, okay, it's probably going to cost about the same. And at my previous house, it cost $6,000 to do the panel upgrade, the car charger install, like everything, plus the charger itself.
That's nuts.
Which is, it is a lot, right? But it's not like what I was about to be quoted. So this guy goes like to his van. He's like, "I'll be right back," and he comes back with the quote, and he goes, "So all in, like everything, it's going to be $16,000." And so I was like, "Are you joking?" And my dad was there with me, and my dad actually like laughed at him, and I felt kind of bad, but it was kind of funny.
Well, these people are audacious and they have to be held accountable.
Yeah, he was like, "I could give you like 10% off," and I'm like, 10% off of $16,000 is nothing.
Correct. And then
And
they
I
add
was
back
like,
on 10% for tax.
yeah. And I was like, I know that's crazy. Like, I just had this done at my last house and they quoted me $6,000. And he just kind of looks at me and he's like, well, like I said, best I can do is 10%. And I was like, okay, then like we'll have to pass because that's crazy. Um, and so he like leaves or whatever. The next day I get like a text from them and they're like, did you receive your quote in the email? I was like, yes. And then they're like, are you going to move forward with the service? I was like, no. So then anyways, I called the other guy back and he finally gave me a quote and he was like, yeah, $6,000. So I
Oh
was
my
like, what the
God.
hell? Like, why would you really think I'm gonna pay almost triple the price when I already know how much it's gonna cost?
Can I ask a very serious question?
What?
Is this worth just either A, just like plugging into a normal outlet, slow charging overnight, or B, just like charging at public chargers?
Well, it takes like a while to even, it takes like a day to charge 10%, which is like, I'd have to literally plug it in every second that I'm not using it.
At the 120 volt?
Like at the house charger, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was, I knew it was slow, but I thought it was like would charge fully overnight.
No, that's it with the installation charger.
Oh, okay.
So public charging is okay, but it's really inconvenient. Like there's not a lot in this area.
Yeah. So what I'm
There actually like
hearing
isn't even
is,
one in this city. It's like I have to go to the next city over.
oh. So I'm hearing we should just keep our gasoline cars.
Well, there's allegedly going to be installing more chargers, but when you have it installed at the house, it's so nice, honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so
Because
you're
like you
doing it.
never have to go to a gas station or a charger, and you just like walk out and your car's full. It's like so nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna do it. What I told the guy as my dad was laughing at him was like, I would literally sell my car. It would make zero economic sense for me to do this.
Yeah.
I was like, if this is truly the cost, I was like, I'm gonna call other people or whatever. And like, if this is truly the cost, I will sell my car because that's just stupid. And he was like, yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, because you're trying to rip me off.
Yeah, okay, but then like now you've spent $12,000.
Well, yeah, but like theoretically, I would make some of it back from selling the previous house.
Yeah,
Because if
fingers crossed.
anything, the upgraded panel is like a big deal, whether they use the charger or not. Like the charger
Yeah.
is the cheapest part of the whole situation. It's the panel upgrade that costs the most.
Oh, got it. I wonder what kind of panel I got.
Well, I could tell you how to check because I know now.
Oh, how do I check?
Well, so we open the panel.
Great.
There's all the breakers.
Uh-huh.
There should be one dead in the middle with like a double handle, and it will literally say a number on the handle.
Okay.
So ours says 150.
Okay, I'm gonna check after this. I'll report back next week.
You should find out. So
Okay.
that was the almost scam of the week. Like they thought they were gonna scam me, and I said, "Not today, scammer."
Yeah, that's nuts. Well, good for you. You have to fight back.
Yeah.
Okay. So you watched Drag Race. It sounded like you have a lot to say.
Oh, I thought it was a great episode.
It was a
Like
good episode.
very entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought this challenge was good. Like even the worst peoples were still fun to watch, and it was like short enough that like the flop didn't really matter. They just like kept moving on. There was like
That
no
is
dead
true.
air. Most of the
Yeah.
time when people flop, it's like dead air and it's like awkward and annoying. But
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
I agree with that. Who was your favorite?
Honestly, I thought Jewel Sparkles was really good.
Which one was
Uh,
hers?
she was with Arietti. It was the back rolls
Oh
one.
yeah.
Um, I really enjoyed someone else's, but I can't remember who it was. Oh, Susie 2, I thought was really good.
Which one was hers?
Hers was like the rock one. I don't remember what the song was
Oh,
about.
I didn't like that.
Oh, well, racist.
My God. Well, no, because my top of the week was bitch, I am from Chicago. Lana Del
Ooh, which
Rey.
one was that?
Lana Del Rey.
Oh, I don't even remember her.
Oh, I thought
Now
that
that you
was
mention it.
hilarious. And then my other top of the week was Hormona Lisa doing I Nominate
Oh, hers was
Myself.
good.
I thought hers was great, especially because some of them had better quotes than others, obviously. And I Nominate
Yeah,
Myself, I didn't think was like gonna be good. And she really turned it into something like funny.
agreed. I thought Sam Star and Acacia Forgot was the worst one.
Yeah.
So to get safe placement was crazy to me.
Well, because Joella, what did you think of her performance? Not her
I
runway.
thought, okay, I thought her performance was bad, but hilariously entertaining. Like I was very entertained watching it.
By the end, I was into it. Yeah, it started not great, but I thought she got good by the end.
Yeah, like they had to edit it really hard, I think, to make it fun, but I had fun.
I had fun too. I definitely didn't think she was like a bottom queen of the week.
Yeah,
Well,
agreed.
okay, let's get into her runway.
Okay, so this may be controversial.
Is it brave?
I liked it.
I
Okay, the
liked
one
it
criticism,
too.
very brave of you. The one criticism I agree with is that her face was like too far inside it. It should have been like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like her face sticking through the hole. So I agree
Yeah,
with that. But
yeah.
otherwise, no notes.
Oh, I still have notes.
Well, I'd love to hear.
Okay, well, so I liked it too when she first came out. Like that is the type of drag that I really enjoy. Yeah, her face should have been through it, like how Lady Gaga is in the art pop thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a miss. What I didn't like about it was the gigantic RuPaul on the back. I didn't like that. And then so I didn't think she deserved to be in the bottom, to be honest. Um and then but she absolutely lost the lip sync.
The lip sync, yeah. I thought it was really funny though when she did turn around. Like it was so bad, it was funny to me. Like if that was in the club, I would have been rioting and like having such a great time.
Well, I agree. And that's what's like the problem is, you know, they're competing on Drag Race, which is a very specific thing of drag. But like, yeah, that in the
Yeah.
club would have been very fun and absolutely slayed.
That is the problem. It's like her even her performance in the skit, I think was or whatever it was not a winning drag race moment, but it was hilarious to me like if you removed it from Drag Race and I just saw that like online, like in a TikTok, I would have loved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 totally. Well, and then I would say Kori King has disappointed me. Like she was one of my favorites at the beginning and has just really been on like a downward spiral for me. Um, Also, I think she repeated some of her outfit, if I'm not mistaken, from the Monopoly
Which
week.
outfit?
I think the
Uh,
yellow Tweety one from Monopoly. I think she was wearing part of that.
yeah, that was in the video. Like she was trying to say like I burned this outfit and grew from the ashes into the new one. But what they were saying was that the outfits like looked so identical, you couldn't really tell the difference.
Yeah, message not received.
Yeah. Who else was the other bottom? I don't even remember.
I don't remember either.
I was really hoping that when Joella pulled the lever that she could get saved because I don't know why I'm like obsessed with her. Like I know she's not gonna win. She's not the best for the show, but I thought she was really funny and fun to watch.
She's one of the most compelling. Like, it's definitely a split. I mean, they often are, but definitely half the queens are boring and not memorable, which is why we keep not remembering them.
Yeah.
So I am disappointed she's gone. She wasn't gonna win, but it was the type of enjoyable delusional that just is good TV.
Yeah. Was it Arietti? Was she in the bottom?
Maybe.
I thought it was absolutely bonkers that Michelle was like, don't do your signature look every time.
Well, I guess to my larger point around Drag Race being a specific thing, they say that to every queen every season.
But I feel like it's not even like that drastic of a thing. You know what I mean? It's like literally just a nose. Like I don't get the issue with it because I think it looks good. I don't think it's like very distracting. I don't know.
Well, they want versatility. They want to see what
It's
else
like
they can
telling
do.
Trixie not to do Trixie face. Like
And
she's
they
gonna
said
do
it
that
to
every time.
her. They told her.
And yet she still wins All Stars with the same face.
Well, but I think that's because, listen, I think that they pick the winner based on who they think will do good for the show. And definitely Trixie's original season, she wasn't ready to win. But definitely by the time she went on All Stars, she had like become
Sure.
Trixie Mattel, the superstar. And so I think that was like, obviously she deserved to win generally,
Yeah.
but that was part of the decision, I think.
Okay. But so as not a makeup girly, there's Susie too, whose face I would say doesn't look great. So they were like, don't do that every time. I get that. 'Cause it's
Susie
not
too looks like she could be on season one.
Yeah.
Derogatory.
Arietti's mug, I think, looks good and it's unique and fun and it's very her. So I don't get the feedback to tell her to not do that every time.
Yeah, well, judging is like opinions.
So I thought Michelle deserved to get dunked for that. And I would have loved to see Joella, the premier Slasian diva of LA, to get one more week.
Yeah. Well, going back to Hormona, it's going to be really fascinating to see if Hormona, only saved by the Dunkadunk tank, but Dunkadunk tank, comes back to do really well, which it kind of seems like that's going to happen.
Is that why they saved her? Do we think it's real or do we think it's rigor mortis?
I think there's laws that they would get in trouble for if it was rigor mortis, but we'll never know.
I just don't know how that works because obviously, like, Rue just picks someone to stay every week.
But I think that's different than the Badunkadunk tank because that is like being offered up as a once in a lifetime or like as an evenly distributed chance. So to tell a queen, hey, pull two
Oh,
would be rigging the competition. Whereas like RuPaul, if she saves both queens in a lip sync, can say, in my opinion, they tied. You see the difference?
no, but okay.
Well, I think my explanation went a little too far on the math side of things.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure there's arguments to be made on both sides, but
Very
we
fine
don't need
people
to get
on both
into all that.
sides. Yes.
Yes, as always. Uh, did you see Miley's new look she debuted?
She looked the same to me. Let me
Well,
see.
they're saying it's new. I saw a funny post that said, "Why does she look like she's on the pit stop?" I thought it was
Yeah,
really
yeah,
funny.
yeah. No, that's like very much the same look to me.
She looks a little more like an egg to me.
It's just a high pony.
Yeah, I don't know. She needed more PR, so New look just dropped. Babe, wake up.
Yeah, I mean, I love Miley, but I would say I don't understand her because, like, I don't know. Her her career is in music, and she doesn't want to tour because she doesn't want to leave her animals. But then she does want to keep doing things. I never understand her direction, I guess, is what I'm trying
That's
to
so relatable. I want to be rich and popular, but I don't want to work for it.
say. I don't
I'm just going to get
understand.
plastic surgery every year and put on a new look.
I don't understand why she doesn't just do like one big show at the Hollywood Bowl. Like she likes to sing. Why does she just do like a couple concerts a year in town?
Yeah.
And that's
I
my
don't know. You
opinion.
should talk to her.
Well, I try my best.
The other thing I saw today, which is crazy, is they found in LA, like during the wildfires, there was an assisted living home, and they evacuated. Turns out everybody except one person, and it was 100-year-old lady, and they found her there alive, like the next day or like a few days later, and it was okay. It's not funny, but it's funny. They were like, "We were yelling. Did you hear us?" And she's like, "No, I'm deaf." It was kind of sad because she's like, "My hearing aids died. I couldn't charge them."
That's
Um,
really sad. Did
it was
the
sad, but she was alive. She was fully dressed. She seemed okay.
Okay, that's like real negligence though. It's like in school with a fire alarm, what a fire drill, you like check you have they should have a sheet to check names off of.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope they sue her ass. The facility's
Well,
ass.
yeah. It was kind of sad because she was like, "Don't leave me," and they were like, "We're not
Yeah.
gonna leave you."
And then they did.
Yeah. And she was like, "I'm 100 years old." And it's like, okay, nobody asked, but good to know.
Oh my god. Well, that's a sad story. I also saw this woman that was like an athlete. It was like 29 years old, like hurt her neck and went to a chiropractor, and the chiropractor killed her.
Oh my god, that happens so often, actually.
I know.
Okay, next guest for the pod, my chiropractor friend, because I need to know the truth.
I don't think he's gonna want to come up.
Because every time I go in and he like does the neck crack thing, it
Yeah.
really scares me.
No, okay, so I went I go to like a myofascial massage place and they also offer chiro. And I did go to the chiro a couple times and I liked the guy and some of the back adjustments and the hip adjustments and stuff like felt good and felt
Yeah.
right. But the neck stuff, terrifying. And I'm like nervous about it and I'm sort of tensed up. And I don't know. Maybe it was just like the guy I was seeing, and getting maybe if I got more of a rhythm with him. But like, I'm trying to relax, but I can't. I always. I'm a very uptight person. I'm not very relaxed at any moment. And
Same.
so, and so I just really need him to be like, okay, we're gonna do the neck now. Like, let's relax. I need him to talk me through it, and instead he'd be like, okay, and then just like kind of do it, and it just.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm gonna die. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Like everything I see online is like it's all fake, it's all bad, it's all dangerous. And then like articles being like, no, actually, it's fine. So I'm like, I really don't know who to believe on this one.
What, from my understanding, my brother-in-law is a physical therapist. Physical therapy addresses like the root causes of these things, right? Like strengthening the muscles to support it, whereas chiropractor is much
Yeah,
more like a band-aid, is my personal opinion.
I see. So next week,
You might have to do that one
we'll
without
be
me.
we'll get the real answer.
Well, you know that I'm just incapable of like, I probably have something wrong with me. I just can't ask my questions tactfully when I like feel this way.
What do you mean?
Like he's gonna come on and I'm gonna be like,
killed anyone lately?
And I won't be able to help that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm mostly joking.
I
But...
figured, but just in case.
yeah. I do think it would be fun to have another guest, though.
Yeah, well, I brought one guest. Your turn to bring a guest.
Okay, well, then he'll be here.
Okay. Before we go, Traitors was boring this week, but I did want to talk about it like briefly.
Okay.
So Robin got murdered. Did you have any opinions on her before she did?
Oh, I thought she was fun to watch.
Yeah, I always really hated her on The Housewives, which I know you don't want. Like, her husband was just like always clearly cheating on her, and there was always like real examples of it on the show. And they like got divorced in the past because he had cheated on her the first time, and then they got
Yeah.
remarried, including like he paid for another woman's like hotel room, and like she had a receipt that he paid for it, but in her name in like a different city on a trip they were on. And he was like, "Oh, this woman like." I forget the exact story, but basically it was like said she didn't have her wallet and just really needed help, so I paid for her hotel room, which like. And anyways, Robin was always just like playing dumb on camera. I don't think she could actually be that dumb in real life, but you never know.
She's just making content, people.
Yeah, well, she got fired from the show because she was so bad. So, anyways, I'm not sad to see her go.
I see. I thought it was crazy that the girly pops turned on each other.
Well, we have to blame Danielle because Danielle did it.
She did it? How?
Danielle turned on Carolyn.
Oh no, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking
Oh.
about Chriselle and Nikki
Oh
and
yeah.
the other girl. Chriselle sent that woman home. Like she did that.
100%.
You can't go to the round table and put on that emotional show. And then I don't know. At the end, she was like, "I think it was my fault." I'm like, "Girl, yes, it was."
I know. Well, I hope she doesn't. I hope people don't turn on Chriselle. I like her.
Honestly, that performance would make me think she was the traitor because it was just so good.
Yeah. Did you realize that Nikki was John Cena's ex-girlfriend?
No, that's amazing.
I know. I was reading the Vulture recap and they linked to this clip. I guess Nikki had a reality show and John was on it and they're at dinner together discussing a trip. And John was like, "Yeah, I was in New York. I had an opportunity to get some like really nicely fitted suits." And she goes, "Oh, nice. How many did you get?" And he goes, "Well, it was a really good opportunity. I got a really good deal." And she goes, "How many did you get?" Guess how many he got?
20.
55!
What? Where do you even put 55 suits? There's no way his closet's that big.
Where do you even wear 55 suits?
I don't know. I mean, that could last you a couple years, but like that's crazy. Like how much variation is there really that you would need 55?
Well, it depends if, well, okay. If you're doing the Rupaul thing where you wear crazy suits, I get it. But John Cena is always looking nice, but very basic.
Yeah. Well, it must be hard to find clothes to fit that fat ass.
Ass.
You know what I'm obsessed with? Is that scene in the Amy Schumer movie where they show his butt.
I don't know if I've seen this. Which movie?
You absolutely have to watch it.
That sounds
I
like
think
it.
it's the one where she falls off the bike and thinks she's skinny or something. I think it's that one.
Maybe I
I
did
could
see
be
that,
wrong.
but it's a long time ago. Don't you hate Amy Schumer?
Yeah, but I'm not watching it for her. I'll show you. I'll find the clip or like send something to you. Like they literally show him from behind, like fully head to toe naked.
Oh, that's fun. All right. I accept the incoming image.
Well, I want to find the clip because you need the full experience.
I agree. And I'll send you the suit clip.
Okay. Well, mine will be better, but
Okay. Well,
oh,
just to say, Danielle is playing a horrible game as a traitor. It was so funny that she tried to if she would just talk to Carolyn, she would realize that Carolyn does want to get Boston Rob out. Because her whole theory is like, I need to work with someone who will
oh
help me get him
yeah.
out. It's like, well, Carolyn
And
wants
then
that
she
too.
tried to turn it on him. Was crazy.
And what's so funny is nobody believes that Carolyn's a traitor. Whereas everyone believed Bob the drag queen, or like at least a decent amount did, obviously.
Yeah. I saw multiple clips online of people pretending to be Carolyn, and it was the funniest thing to me. They were just doing
Yeah, her faces are
like
amazing.
she was giving a really good face last episode. That's the one thing I wanted to say.
I agree. Giving face, one of Carolyn's best things.
It turns out it's harder than you think.
I agree. Um. Anyways, hopefully this week is better, but it seems like we may see Carolyn team up with Boston Rob instead of with Danielle, which sucks, but it is ultimately Danielle's fault.
Yeah. I still think they should turn it around and work together. Like, they just need to see that he's tearing everyone apart. And then you come together and cut out the man, and then you win.
I agree. Well, I also was surprised they didn't recruit after Bob, but I guess since they still had three, they didn't.
Yeah, maybe if one more goes.
Yeah. But I'm okay with that. It's just like I'd be sad if Carolyn went out. So we'll see. But it's very clear to me that she'll survive at least another episode.
I feel like she should just do nothing for the rest of the show, and then she'll. No one would ever know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Um all right.
Well,
Well, thank you for listening and watching. And that's
new
it.
episodes come out. Yes. New episodes come out every Tuesday. You can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow us on our personal accounts on Instagram, Jojo_Patron and at Queen Kip. And
We'll see you
that's
next
all.
Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.